We all know Deadpool, the guy who refuses to die. A healing factor that breaks logic, and a mouth that never shuts up. But this time, things take a hard turn. This Deadpool isn't alive. He's undead, meaning he died and still didn't stop. His mind is broken, his body's fallen apart, and what's left is pure chaos. Think about it. A guy who was already unstable, and now he literally has nothing to lose. Welcome to Undeadpool. Today, we're diving into how Deadpool becomes a walk-in nightmare, and why this version is far more dangerous than the original. But before we start, a small request. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Your one click motivates us to create more amazing videos like this. Alright, without wasting time, let's begin. Our comic opens with a destroyed future city. A broken down van is being dragged toward an old place called Louisville. Fantastica, Magni, and Kid Man-Thing are pulling the van, while Fearless sits inside steering. The passengers push it the last quarter mile. This mutant land is abundant, but if you want a new carburetor, they reach a garage-like setup with a sign. 2 for 1 auto, open late. We fix all pre-revelation motors. Cheap, the mechanic says. You gotta ask 2 for 1. You kids rode this pretty hard. She was running hot for a good 8 to 9 hours. Fantastica replies casually, we had places to be. A creepy mutant looks at them and says, I bet. What are you supposed to be? Some kind of superheroes? Fantastica says proudly, we call ourselves the Alpha Warriors. It's an homage. From behind, someone comments sarcastically, bold. Naming yourselves after Alpha Flight and the New Warriors? That'll thrill at least 6 fans. The mechanic tells them the replacement part will come from Mexico. Well, Alpha Warriors, the replacement's gotta come from Mexico. Gonna take 6 to 8 days. Magni rejects the delay. We don't have that much time. We'll walk. The kids are hiding something beneath the bravado and the so-tight retro uniforms. Tufa knows it. Mutant warns them, y'all best be careful out there. Real careful. The Alpha Warriors aren't shaken at all by the warning and continue forward. The group walks along the riverbank, leaving the van behind. Maybe it's cause the whole idea behind the Revelation territories is that no mutant should ever worry about anything. The group gives a casual nod and heads in another direction, avoiding the highway. While walking, Fearless says, guys, the team moves deeper into the forest, and suddenly creepy mutated people surround them. The leader notices, but some people, they need something else. The mutants make strange sounds. A team member labels them babbles. Just so you know, this term isn't indicative of any kind of babe, Pedro Pascal, talking piglet, or otherwise. A teammate adds, a little disappointed, I hope you didn't get your hopes up. Behind them, Magni says to Fearless, Fearless, get behind me. The mutants are about to attack, but their language has been taken from them. They don't even get to holler out some inbred, hill people name of a favorite cousin, sister before they attack. Revelation gives, but he also takes away. In this case, language and all ability to form words. The team moves into battle formation. The Warriors get into formation. Their fandom shines right through their bikini briefs, cause they definitely watched some old Avengers vids when they were toddlers. Lightning crackles, vines strike, the fight officially begins. Full fight scene. Lightning, vines, punches, all at once. Narrator mocks them. They're like sidekicks, but you know, if their partners had no idea they existed. Team's lightning guy is introduced. Magni is their Thor guy, complete with lightning bolts and Nordic cheekbones. Another member attacks, using stretch powers. Fantastica is the world's #1 and only Reed Richards fanatic, with the stretchy bendy powers. Narrator doesn't drop the sarcasm. That one must assume kept Sue Richards one happy lady. Next, a hero with a funny name. Kid Man-Thing is, well, honestly, that's the best superhero name I've ever heard. And the narrator, clearly bored, so the fact that he has planny powers or something is second fiddle. Fearless jumps into the action, and Fearless has all the blind of Daredevil, but none of the ninja stuff. The narrator is brutally harsh. She finds out quick that her mental powers ain't worth a stack of Darkhawk back issues. Zombie-type enemies attack, against dudes with no minds left. The situation becomes tight. It looks real bad for the Devil Girl. I mean, not the her, obviously. And the narration sets up suspense. And then, Kid Man-Thing's vines womp. The whole team is saved. The group declares themselves the winners. Look around, we won. They think they have X-Men level talent. Full delusion mode. We're X-Men material, baby. They've already made a plan that Ms. Marvel will take them to the flotilla. 5 more days. Then freedom, then Midgard is theirs. Narrator reality check. The old mechanic had given a warning. Death curse type vibe. But the twist? The warning wasn't about them. She was warning them about me. Deadpool steps out of the shadows. Game over vibes. In the middle of the jungle, Deadpool enters. Half ripped, blood dripping, knife ready. Wade Wilson. Narration goes full psycho teaser. Cue the kill, kill, kill music. Deadpool roasts himself. Merc with a mouth, heart of gold, sometimes blows out a supervillain's teeth with a shotgun. Then a dumb justification. I'm basically a cute puppy. Good guy, right? And Deadpool answers himself. Well, translation? No. He's here to kill, not meant to. Then our alpha warriors reach a summer camp. Dove of Peace summer camp, where Fantastica says to Fearless, "It's summer camp, Fearless. The kind kids used to stay at when their parents got sick of them." Fearless, a bit clueless. "Oh, is it cool?" Kid Man-Thing responds. "Are you kidding? This is like a luxury detention center." Then regular-sized Kid Man-Thing makes an entrance and shows off his creepy plant powers. By putting regular size in the name, Marvel basically confirmed. Bro, keep expectations low. Fantastica says, "See, I caught a little thing called the X-Virus. X-Virus rules. Normal people, dead. Lucky ones, superhuman mutants. Basically the worst lottery in life, where even the prize is risky." Nighttime, campfire setting. All of them sit around the fire like a therapy circle. Kid Man-Thing asks Fearless a dumb question. "Wait, so you don't see, like, black all the time?" Fantastica says to Magni, "You thinking of Magni?" Magni replies, "Heh, it's true. I am very goth." Fearless gives a sarcastic reality check. "No, that's not how being blind works. I don't know what black looks like. There's nothing there. No light, no dark, nothing. But I can see in a way." Fearless continues emotionally. "The warmth of fire, the way it's earned with the work of gathering wood, the way it brings us together. I don't see what things look like. I see them for what they are." Fearless reveals his backstory about the infection. "For me, the virus. Well, I had this healing factor, right?" Kid Man-Thing, offering a half-eaten apple to Magni and the others, says, "I see we still got a lot of fruit left. Anybody?" Magni pushes Kid Man-Thing away and says, "No more for me. Revelation's gifts reek of subservience. I'll seek my own dinner." Kid Man-Thing replies, "It was a beef from Department K when they tried to turn me into a new Weapon X." Magni stands up and heads toward the jungle to hunt. Fearless asks, "You going hunting for animals?" Fantastica gets excited and asks Magni, "Oh, can I go?" Magni answers gently and carefully, "Someone should sit with Fearless." Kid Man-Thing, still eating the apple, says, "It's cool, I'll stay. You go, Fan." Fantastica stands up and kisses Kid Man-Thing on the forehead, saying, "Thanks, baby." Kid Man-Thing says sarcastically, "I always feel bad eating plants anyway. Go get us a big..." Magni and Fantastica move deeper into the jungle. Narration hits. My healing factor and the X-Virus were a real bad cocktail, like Jack and Diet Cola bad. Magni shares something with Fantastic. 4 once ate the flesh of 2 whole bulls in one sitting. Fantastica replies sarcastically, "I'd be happy with the meat of 1 scrawny chipmunk." Magni says, "Mayhap that's your problem. You settle." Magni hears something, becomes alert, and says, "What was that?" Fantastica smiles and says, "Maybe what you heard, you jerk." Then, in full romantic tone, was me unsettling. Magni and Fantastica kiss each other in the quiet jungle under the moonlight. And Fantastica, in excitement, says, "Ah, Magni. Oh yes, finally. A creepy, lightning-filled jungle atmosphere." Magni, a little wannabe romantic, trying hard, starts an emotional speech. "My Lady Fair, ever since Caraville, since we were kids, I just want you to know that I made this journey for you." But the girl cuts him off. "Daryl, shut the hell up and kiss me harder." Just as he continues talking, Deadpool throws a knife straight into his mouth, lightning striking around them. Fantastica shouts, "Magni," Deadpool's narration. "Yo, the virus couldn't kill me all the way, but it couldn't mutate me all the way either. At least not in any way helpful, but I could sure keep my healing factor busy." Fantastica pushes Magni's body away and screams for help. Deadpool appears. It's just a passenger, riding a light. Fantastica runs back toward her teammates, yelling, "Oh God! Oh God! Help! Oh God!" Fearless calls out, "Fantastica?" Fantastica clings to Fearless and cries, "Oh God, it's Magni. We were, and he..." Fearless says, "He's over here." Deadpool's in a narration. It searches out the one thing it needs, fuel for the biological engine that is the unkillable Undeadpool. Kid Man-Thing sees Magni's body and panics, saying to the others, "Some thing ate him." Scene shifts, cars everywhere, debris. The 3 of them emerge into an area like an urban graveyard of cars. Fearless is breaking down. "Oh God, oh God, oh God." Narration from Deadpool's POV, witnessing firsthand what I do. A new infection stage. Vines, roots, tendrils begin growing from Magni's body. Deadpool narration. Fortunately, unbelievable terror, guilt, and pain, not really a new thing for old Wade Wilson. In love, losers usually lose their senses And that's exactly what's happening to our guy Narvin, aka Kidman Thing. He looks at Fantastica angrily and asks, Fan, when we found you, you said you and Magni. Leah, I have to know, were you guys cheating on me? Seriously, there's a zombie Deadpool infection happening. People are dying. And this dude is starting a relationship gossip session? His priorities are trash. Anyway, back to the story. Fantastica replies to Marvin. Marvin, Magni is friggin' dead. This isn't in kinda time for this. High school drama. Alright, we shift into a Deadpool factory flashback. Weapon X trauma. Basically, everyone used to bet on who would survive. Normal people bet on cricket scores. These psychos bet on survival. Total walk-in red flag factory. Marvin's anger escalates. He screams, transforms into his monstrous form, and yells at Fantastica. Tell me, damn it. Then comes the relationship confession. Damn it. Yeah, we did stuff sometimes. Just stuff. Bro couldn't stop himself from cheating, and couldn't even be specific about it. Peak pathetic energy. Fantastica breaks down emotionally. I'm so sorry, okay? I wanted more. From you. From everything. She's crying her soul out, while Marvin is turning into Groot's ugly cousin. The situation is completely out of control. Kidman Thing is furious. Fearless tries to calm Marvin down, but Marvin screams at him. Did you know, Fearless? Your powers let you tell when people are lying, could you tell? Did you know this whole time? Fearless gives the most casual reply ever. Yes. I knew. At this point, I'm convinced Fearless is an actual sociopath. Deadpool slides in with his narration. As much as playing Deadpool was totally morbid and completely cruel, it reminded us that despite it all, life was still a joke. Deadpool starts his comedic narration. Now this guy Magni, he was pretty badass. Spooky face, juice with Sparkies, leather pants. Deadpool compares survival chances like he's placing IPL bets. I'd have given him 2-to-1 odds he'd survive. Marvin, boiling with rage, walks away from Fantastica and Fearless and shouts, "To hell with this." Fantastica tries to stop Kidman Thing, crying and desperate. "Marvin, please!" "It was nothing. We need you. I need you." Amazing. First she hooks up with someone from her own group. Then when she gets caught, her defense is, "It was nothing. We need you." Yeah, right. Classic, I did something terrible, but you shouldn't leave because it's inconvenient for me. Women in fiction. Chef's kiss hypocrisy. Bro is literally a walking box of vines at this point. Relationship counseling won't reverse a biological breakdown. Deadpool narration kicks in, but we all know how that bet shook out. We see Deadpool leaning on a wrecked bus, barely conscious, jaw hanging open. Fantastica screams into the massive jungle of vines. Marvin. The junkyard chaos has leveled up. The whole place looks like a toxic salad war zone. Marvin has evolved into Plant Emo version 2.0. Deadpool continues narration. And Kidman Thing? Yes, Wade. Perfect time to roast someone who's emotionally imploding. Narration. Well, as much as I'm just tickled in the nethers by that name, I'm gonna have to give him 10-to-1. Deadpool is giving betting odds like this is IPL Fantasy League. Except instead of wickets, people are dying. Marvin's full horror reveal. Roots everywhere. Vines dripping slime. And enough trauma energy to require lifelong therapy. Deadpool narrates again. I mean, yes, he's a teenage elemental. And given some proper training, I'm pretty sure he could be a side salad super soldier. He's literally calling Marvin a side salad super soldier. The insult is so elite, it deserves a Michelin star. Deadpool drops the punchline. But he let his emotions get in the way of that spiffy Avenger-style circle up he and the crew had going. Fantastica tells Fearless to move. Come on, Fearless, move. She's still trying to run through this living haunted plant maze. Deadpool's harsh judgment, he broke the cardinal rule of the teenage tale of terror. Fantastica crying again. Oh God, Kidman Thing is now hanging from a crane through his own vines. And Deadpool finally states the obvious truth. He went off alone. If someone is emotionally unstable and still decides to go solo, that's called pre-signed death certificate. Classic horror movie death flag. Scene shifts. Nighttime. Fearless and Fantastica are sitting between wrecked cars with a bonfire lit. Deadpool narrates, but if the Chlorophyll Crusader has any legacy besides a thoroughly oblivious sense of nomenclature, meaning the guy had zero brain when it came to naming himself, it's that he reminded the last two survivors to circle the wagons. Bonfire sparks float upward. Fearless says quietly, "Leah?" Leah responds, "Yeah." Fearless grows serious. We aren't gonna make it to St. Louis, are we?" Deadpool jumps in. Now, getting back to the scoreboard here, we see Leah. Strong, determined, flames reflecting in her eyes. Deadpool comments, "Fantastic is a little self-centered, sure." And everyone boos the bee who wants it all and gets a little on the side. Translation? Deadpool's calling out her cheating knock, but then he immediately adds, but she's strong-willed, like Captain America or Sia. Leah, awkward, tries to respond. Crap, Fearless, I don't... Listen, the question is... Fearless interrupts. Why would we survive all of that back in Philly? The Omega Kids and Revelation, if we weren't meant to make it to the flotilla? If we were destined to join the good guys? Leah gives a small, hopeful smile. Yeah, okay, you're right. Deadpool jumps in again with premium sarcasm. And those stretching powers? Look, it's not the coolest set, but it's better in, I don't know, points. Losers phase. A pause, and then, anyway, I'd give her 15 to 1 odds. I would. The scene continues. Same wasteland, burnout cars, cracked earth. The awkward silence between Leah and the chlorophyll crusader, Kidman Thing's legacy, gets shattered when Deadpool cuts in. But unfortunately for her, my classic teleportation belt still works. Deadpool adds, now, it's not at 100% on account of some damage it took back before Revelation went full-on dictator. Instantly, whoosh, Deadpool teleports in and grabs Fantastico like she weighs nothing. He keeps talking while dragging her. So my body isn't doing any intercontinental trips or skipping to the head of the line at Old Country Buffet currently. Fearless senses something is wrong and calls out, Fantastica? She starts running, panicking. If this is a joke, it's not funny. Fan, where are you? Deadpool shifts back to that creepy, calm narration. But you know that thing a good killer in the woods can do where they're not there one moment and then they suddenly are? My teleport belt can do that. Deadpool is on top of a wrecked car, tearing into Fantastica like a zombie, raw and savage. Fearless, searching through the wreckage, calls, you mind, Leah? I can't feel you. Deadpool silently appears behind her, voice like a death sentence. And so, Lil Devil Horde Fearless, who actually is not. I'm sorry, kid. Your odds are 900 to 1. Fearless looks around, terrified. Deadpool continues narrating, because after all the talk of destinies and fates, the prophecies from space gods, he swings, knocks her weapon away, sparks fly. The speeches from Daredevil, or Spider-Man, or a screaming hobo on the bus. Fearless tries to run, survival instinct kicking in, and Deadpool continues about how I was supposed to be a real hero someday, a savior, a messiah, a champion, then a sudden stab, brutal, efficient. No hesitation. Deadpool's narration turns cold. The truth is, I just ended up a cannibal killer. Blood splatters. Deadpool stands there like it's just another Tuesday. I'm a weeping little voice, dragged shrieking along for a ride in an unstoppable assassin's tattered spandex. Fearless collapses onto the ground. She tries to raise her staff, the only thing keeping her upright as a weapon. But Deadpool's sword slices through it like it's cheap firewood. One snap, no chance. Deadpool? Yeah. He's still in chill narration mode, like he didn't just butcher 2 kids. The truth is, I'd always wanted to be a mute like Cyclops or Wolverine or Sirit. He's literally murdering people. But emotionally, he just wants to be part of the X-Gene Cool Kids Club. Cyclops, Wolverine, Sirin. People who solve problems by existing. Deadpool continues, sentimental, sarcastic. Or like Cable, my beloved, half-robot, half-annoyed, aging, unmarried uncle, Nathan. Translation, Cable equals grumpy cyberpunk uncle, who should be sponsored by blood pressure medication. Cable appears, slamming into a car, sparks flying, while Deadpool keeps narrating, who defies his own damn cursed body and the weight of his past. Deadpool's voice shifts. Not funny, just real. He talks about the moment he accepted he was gonna die. Since the moment I'd realized I was going to die, I'd wanted to be a mutant, but not like this. God, not like this. Right then, wham! Deadpool throws his opponent like it's WWE and physics don't apply. Then he flicks full meta mode. Anyway, not to jump around here. I mean, it's me. But you know what was always the real fun part about the Deadpool? Smoke, wrecked cars, Deadpool standing over someone, half his face basically ruined, and then the emotional punch. Sometimes you were wrong. That line hits harder than the actual hits. It shows there's still a human under the psycho. Deadpool panics, talking to himself. Wade, my name is Wade. I'm not a monster. He backs away from Fearless. My body was running on automatic, okay? Just a machine, but now it's consumed enough. Enough. He steps closer, grabs Fearless's hand, places it on his head. Look, the point is, my mind is back in control. I'm driving. You can sense when people are lying, right? Here, listen. I want to help you get to St. Louis. I'll protect you. Fearless stammers. I don't... Deadpool's basically begging. Please get up in my brain. Do your Daredevil lie detector thing. He reaches out. Desperate. Am I lying to you in any way? Tears. Fearless activates her psychic sense. Deadpool continues. The territories are supposed to supply mutants with everything they need. Fearless finally answers. No, you aren't. Deadpool melts emotionally. Finally, someone believes him. He says gently. Sweet, but we need to move fast. and the scene shifts, title box style, elsewhere. Deadpool always knew Cable was controlling everything. Back to the story, lights flicker, holograms everywhere. A green futuristic tech room, a massive cyber chair setup dominates the space. And on it sits the big puppeteer himself, Cable. He scanned critical data on a high-tech holographic interface. Deadpool's hologram appears. Cable says, "And I need this." He pulls up Deadpool's data file. Professor, record log, codename Deadpool, Wade Wilson, merc with low morals and a high pain tolerance who can barely take care of himself, has intercepted the target. Another command. A new hologram opens. Codename Fearless, display log. A green flash, and Fearless's face appears. The AI lists her data. Fearless, real name, Angela Inatake, age 17, place of birth, Silver Spring, Maryland. Former USA, telepathic with limited ability to read minds and detect internal activity. Potential to enhance, unleash mutant powers. Cable speaks softly, thinking out loud. The kid's gifted but naive. Undoubtedly valuable. Potentially an asset to a malevolent opposing force. Then the line that reveals his entire motive. She needs a better chance than Deadpool. She needs a mentor, a commander, like Sam, Tanitha, Rane. Final reveal of Cable's face. He looks less half man, half machine like in the movies, and more full cybernetic warlord who hasn't slept in 12 years. Cable looks at Fearless's hologram and declares she needs to be part of an all-new X-Force Unite. And with that, we've covered 2 parts from Age of Revelation, Unbreakable X-Men, plus Undeadpool issue number 1. The comic looked insane and chaotic, but honestly, for a dead Deadpool, the guy still manages to be funnier and more dramatic than half the living heroes out there. You didn't expect zombie cannibal Deadpool to be entertaining? Welcome to Wade Wilson, chaos in human form. You asked for brutal honesty, so here it is. The comic is edgy but inconsistent. The emotional beats are strong, but the pacing jumps around like an ADHD squirrel on Monster Energy drink. Deadpool carries the entire narrative. Everyone else is just edible obstacle. Still, it works because Deadpool is a walking disaster. What's your opinion on this comic? Let us know in the comments. Until then, goodbye and take care.